Hey, what's up? It's Inside of the Day with Shay, day 3. So I'm currently looking at this sticky note that I wrote last week or the week before that I want to share with you. And it is be present with the timeline you're currently sitting on. So what that means is instead of wishing that you were further along, wishing you were somewhere else, wishing that you were not where you're at, be present, be happy, be content with where you're currently at in whatever journey that you're on. Like so often, and I'm hugely guilty of this, like especially with athletes and people that have big goals and want to achieve things and whatever. We always want to like be further along. We always think that we need to be somewhere where we're not. We always think that we're not where we should be. That word should. You're not where you should be, right? If you're injured, you're not where you should be. You should be further along. You should be past this. You should be better than this, right? All these things of like, you need to be where you're not. And when we get into that mode of being, where we're not and wanting to be where we're not happy. We're not content. We're always living in the future, right? When we're living in the future, it's full of anxiety. It's full of like, we're just not happy with what we have. We're always thinking about, if I do get to where I should be, then I'll be happy. If I do just get better, if I am further along, then I'll be happy, right? And we do that and we've reached the thing, and then maybe we're happy for a second, but then it's like we're always searching for the next thing. So every milestone, it's like, oh, I should be further, I should be further, I should be further, instead of just being present and being happy with where you're at right now, right? And when you do this, it's like the present is better. So every single moment is better, but also like the future is better. And we're not sitting here worried about the future because we know that if we're present in every moment, if we're happy with where we're at right now, then inevitably you're going to get to where you need to go. But you don't need to worry about where you need to go. You don't need to worry about anything. You just have to be present with where you're at right now. So if you're thinking like, okay, let's say you're injured, right? We'll use a couple different examples. Let's say you're injured and you're like, oh, I should be further along. Like, I wish I could just like play. Like, I'm sick of this. I'm ready to be out of this, right? You're thinking of that. You're thinking of the future. You're thinking of where you're not right now, right? And when you think like that, you can't really be happy right now because your mindset is, oh, I'll only be happy when this thing happens. So then we go through the journey like not really being happy, not really being present. But what if we were happy and we were present with the journey? How much better would that make the goal or the destination? And there really is no destination, but we're always trying to get somewhere. Like, what if we were just happy with where we're at? I promise you that if you're just happy with where you're at, that doesn't mean that you're not going to work hard and to do the right things. It means you're going to do that while being happy. Instead of just striving, I need to get better, I need to get better, I need to get better. You're exactly where you need to be. You are exactly where you need to be. You don't need to be where so-and-so is. You don't need to be where your parents think you should be. You don't need to be where your coach thinks you should be. You're exactly where you need to be. Whatever you're going through, you're supposed to be going through. And you're supposed to be going through it, not skipping over it. You're supposed to be experiencing all of it, right? Let's use like an example that everyone, right, that's listening to this, that's watching this. Let's say that just like with your skills, right? So we'll use soccer as an example. Like, oh, I should be further along. I need to be, I'm at point A. I need to get to point B in order to get to point C, right? Like I'm here, but my skills need to get here, right? So we're always focused on, oh, I need to just get better. I need to get better. I need to get better. I need to get better, which is great. You can get better. But what if instead of saying, I wish I was somewhere else, I wish I was further along, what if you could just be present with where you're at and really like say to say to yourself, where I'm at is exactly where I need to be. Where you're at is exactly where you need to be. Be where your feet are, not out in the future. Not out in the future. And if you do this, number one, you're going to be happier. Number two, the future will end up a lot better. Because what is the future made of? The future is made up of all these moments. And if you are present with every moment, it's going to be a pretty good future. But the future is not actually a thing. The only thing that's actually real is where you're at right now. So instead of being off in the future that doesn't actually exist, be here. Love where you're at. And when you love where you're at, where you're going is going to be an awesome place as well. All right. Hope that helps. If it did, if you feel called, leave a comment below, like and subscribe so that you can get the other daily insights. All right. See you later.